Hi everyone. So today, we've talked about main dishes, we've talked about side dishes, and today our recipe is going to be what we call an appetizer. Now, an appetizer, especially this time of year with the holidays coming around, we have Thanksgiving coming up, we have Christmas coming up, and typically there's a lot of parties, a lot of families get together and do things together, or just friends in general have little parties. And if you need to bring an appetizer, like maybe the host of the party will say, oh, just bring an appetizer dish, and that'll be great. So appetizers come in all different shapes and varieties, and really, it can pretty much be anything. But one of the things that you want to do, okay, let me give you some examples of an appetizer. It can be celery, just chopped up pieces of celery. That could be an appetizer. It can be a variety of vegetables like cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, little cherry tomatoes like this. Those can all be considered appetizers. It can be chips and cheese. It can be chips and salsa. It's just a little something. And what you do with an appetizer, if none of you have ever had one, is when you get to the party, it's sort of like a way for people to break the ice when they first enter the party. So they put down their dish, oh hi, everybody hugs and says hello and everything, and you uncover your dish, you put it on the table, and then everybody just kind of gets a little plate, and they get little pieces, little things of food, right? And it also gives them a way to have something to eat before you sit down and have your main dinner, and kind of sit, mingle, catch up with your friends, catch up with your family, saying, oh hi, how are you, what you been doing, I really missed you, that type of thing. But and you can do like those boring dishes where you just have chopped up vegetables, chopped up some tomatoes and vegetables here and there, chips and salsa, or you can have fun with them too. And that's what we're going to be doing today. See? So we are making, for our recipe it says veggie race cars. Okay? And what we're using today for our recipe, this is our blueprint. So here's the blueprint. So we have spreadable cream cheese. Okay? That's just really soft cream cheese that you can spread. We have celery. Now this is a stalk of celery. Okay, this is considered a whole stalk, and you can see it right on the ground. They hack it off. They throw it in the bag. Sometimes they don't even throw it in the bag. They just put a rubber band over it to keep these, what do they call the arms, the individual stalks together so that they don't split off. Or spread out like a bunch of your fingers like that. And then that's how they get delivered to the store in some cases. Some cases they put them in a bag. But no matter what you do, you always pre-wash or wash your fruits and vegetables, because they do use pesticides and they do use a variety of chemicals to keep the bugs and whatever, unless it says it's organic. Now, if it's organic, well then you still have people who have touched it. It's dirt maybe on it, whatever, but you want to clean it up. Okay, and so I've taken the liberty to pre-wash these celery stalks that we are going to be using today. And again, like I always say, if we were working in the food industry, we would be having, if we were working at a restaurant, we would have gloves on, we would have a hairnet, we'd have a mask on or something. I'm out of all of that stuff, so I can't, simulate any of that. So we're just, again, I apologize. I'm going to get some more gloves, but right now we're just going to do it this way, just so that you guys know. Now the tools that we need, so is a knife. So this is a paring knife. You see it's got a sharp edge. And then we have a dull knife, and this is just a butter knife. This won't cut nothing, or anything, I should say. That's really good English, John. I have, this is a peeler, Okay, and sometimes if you don't have a peeler, you can see this is very sharp. It's like a razor right here. And what we're going to do with this, I will show you a little bit later, but this peels, and if you don't have this, then you can just use a regular knife, but you need to be very, very careful when you use the knife. Our ingredients are, of course, the celery stalks, the cream cheese, the cherry tomatoes, and that is about it. Now I'm going to show you a couple of different varieties of like different ways to make an appetizer. So the first thing that we're going to do, so we have all our stuff, is we're going to trim our celery. All right. So it says here on our recipe, we take the long celery stick and we are going to half that. So we find about the halfway point, cut that off. Now, nobody eats these ends because that's like right where the stem is very fibrous. So we're going to hack that off. Okay. And we'll dispose of that right there. And then we'll take our other one and we'll do the same thing. We'll find the halfway point. And it's up to you, whatever you think is halfway, right? So we go halfway, right there, and then we take off the end that nobody eats. Okay, now, so now look, out of 2 celery stalks, we have how many pieces? Count. 1, 2, 3, 4. See? 4 pieces out of 2 celery stalks. Now, the reason why I'm pointing that out is when you do an appetizer like this, you want to do something, especially that's not going to cost a lot. It's not going to be really hard to make. You want to make it easy for yourself and inexpensive. It's just sort of something that you can bring and leave, and you don't care about it. Okay. So, for our recipe, we are using the cream cheese. All right. Now, when you open up the container, sometimes some of the containers have this foil on it. Some just have a clear foam or a white or clear seal. Some have a white seal. No matter what, make sure that this seal is here. Okay, and if it's broken in any way, like if it's popped up in any way, do not use this stuff. That means it's either been messed around with in the store or it's gone bad, because this stuff does go bad, and maybe it got hot and it'll spoil, and then that'll get you or your family that you're making this for to get sick, and we don't want that. So always be aware of what your ingredients are. Make sure that they're fresh. Make sure that it looks good, smells good. That way, it is good. Okay. So we pop that open. Okay. All right. Smells good. That was good and sealed. We're not going to worry about this stuff. This is good. Okay. Now, here's the next part. So we've got that. We've got our celery stalks. Now we're going to use the little cherry tomatoes. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut these. So we have a hole, right? And we're going to half. Right? And I'm just going to cut up a couple of them. I'm going to show you, and like I said, I'm going to couple of different ways. So there's 1, there's 2. Right? So here's a good illustration. So here's a hole, right, for our pizza. Here's a hole, and now Antonio comes along and eats half, and so now we only have a half left, right? Okay. And then so that if we put the other half back, we got a hole again. So I'm just going to do those 2 right there, because we're not fond of tomatoes too much, so to speak, as we know. And then here is our carrot. Now you can do this, you can leave the carrot just the way it is. But a lot of times when you're doing an appetizer, you want to make it look really nice and really pretty for the people that you're preparing this for. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your peeler and you're just going to really gently peel the skin off the top of your carrot. See? And then you make a little thin layer like that. And we're just going to dispose of that because we don't want that. And we're just going to go all the way around the carrot just like that. All right. And this This is just, for looks. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. That's entirely up to you. All right, and we do that. And so now our carrot, I missed a little spot there. Okay, so now there's our carrot skin. And so now here, look, our carrot is all nice and clean. All the skin is gone. And so what we're going to do, and we're going to very carefully, remember I tell you guys, tuck your fingers so that you don't cut your fingers. And we're going to cut off little circles of the carrot. And we're going to have to use a sawing action to go back and forth, because in the center of the carrot is a core, and it's pretty tough. See? So then we just saw it back and forth, and we're going to try and be consistent with our sizes of our carrots, okay? So, and those are pretty much, and really, all right, so we have the 4 right there. Since we're going to do a couple of different varieties, let me cut a few more off, right? And remember we tuck our fingers, so that way we don't cut ourselves, and we keep our consistent cutting. Now, in the restaurant, again, like I told you, they have gauges, little gauges that you use to slice stuff up with, if you're slicing stuff up with, and that way you're consistent with your cuts and you're not wasting any of the products. Okay, so we're just going to do those right there, and we'll put that off to the side. Now, remember in our previous recipe that we had, which was, well, actually it was one of our very first recipes that I filmed, I talked to you about the string of the celery. Now, some people like the string, which I personally like the string, and some people don't. For the appetizer, I'm going to suggest that you're going to want to de-string the celery stalks, okay? And the reason is that it just makes it easier for people to chew, and they don't get the string stuck in their teeth and that type of thing. So again, we just take the little, right there, right on the edge, just a little bit of it, and we just peel those strings right out. And see those, that's what I'm talking about the strings. This just makes the celery a little easier to chew. It's not too stringy, too tough. Okay, and so we peel all those out. And there. And so there. And so we have all the strings off of that one. We'll do it on this one. Right? We'll do that real quick. And you just have to be very careful when you're doing this, guys. All right? There's the other one. And one more. Okay. Go. One more stalk to go. Whoops, missed that one. Oh, there we go. Got that one. Got that one. Let me go back to this side here. Right there. Okay. All right, so all our stalks have been de-stringed. Now, here's how easy this recipe is. We're going to take our butter knife, and we're going to get our cream cheese and put that right there. And we're just going to dip into this, and we're going to spread. And you don't need a lot. Okay, so just like that. We're just going to spread it all the way down the stalk of the celery. And you want to be, keep it nice and clean. So you use your knife, and it doesn't have to go all the way to the end, but it's always nice that it is all the way to the end, because that way everybody eats it, doesn't, it makes it all look consistent, and it's pretty. And then we clean up our edges, just like that. Put it there. Okay, so now we have our cream cheese right down in the center of our celery stalk. Now, here we go. We take our carrots, we take our little carrot pieces, just like that, and we're going to make like little race cars out of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of cream cheese, not a lot, just a little, okay, and we're going to put it some right there, oops, there, okay, and what we're going to do, and hopefully this will work, we're going to make like little cars. Okay, so we stick it on just like that. Okay, so there's one wheel. Get another one, a little bit. Okay, it's kind of, you got to kind of get it on there and get it on there. Kind of want to work at it a little bit. There's two. All right. Do it again on this other side. Okay, we're just going to smash it on there. All right. And then for our last one, we put that right there. Okay. We don't want to have a flat tire on the one side, so put that there. And then once you refrigerate this, it's really kind of, the cream cheese will be a little bit more firm. My wife is running the heater full blast, so it's killing me here right now. Okay, but you get the idea. This is like a little race car. All right. And then what you do is you top it with the cherry tomatoes. And you just like, there's like a little guy right there. There's the engine. You know, there's the steering wheel. Okay? And there, voila, there you go. There is a little appetizer. It's kind of cute. It's enticing for people to want to come in and get. And it's fun. And it makes people want to go and eat it. Okay, so there's one. There's one. It's got a big block in it. We like cars with big blocks. Okay. Again, you can do just straight up cream cheese. You don't have to put the tomato in it if you don't want to put. Okay. You don't have to do that. It's really, it's up to you. These are your appetizers, and it's what you want to do. Okay. So you just put the cream cheese there. This one here, this is just going to be sleek because not everybody likes tomatoes. Okay. I don't like tomatoes. I'm not a fan. I just can't eat it. Okay. So, and you can leave it just like that if you don't want to do the wheels, or if you want to do the wheels, okay, let's do the wheels. You know, hey, I'm nothing but easy. All right, we're just going to make this an easy thing. Make it fun. Make it enticing for your guests to want to come and have these little appetizers. All right, and you'll see, people are like I would, but of course I'm immature, as I've been told. I'm a teenager, according to my wife. And you would catch me playing with it. So we do like that, and so I would gravitate towards this one here. See, this one's long and sleek, and of course here I go, woo, 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 I mess around. Okay. So there's fun. Now, here's a variation, and this actually is my favorite way. And this is a Boy Scout recipe, and they call it ants on a log. Okay. And of course that's just what they call it. Really all it is celery and peanut butter. So here we have some celery, our celery stock, and we have our Skippy peanut butter. Okay. And it can be any peanut butter, it doesn't matter, it's all the same. Skippy, Jif, I can't taste the difference, but it's whatever. Walmart's just as good. And I think even Planters Peanuts has peanut butter now. So there you go. And we just spread that on our celery stalk. Just like that. Now, and I'm not going to do the wheels because all my wheels are all gone. But here's where you would call these the ants on a log. Now, these are cranberries, but you can use raisins. I'm just using what I happen to have on hand right now. And these are the ants, and all the cranberry is basically it's a dried up cranberry. This is just a dried up cranberry, and you just, then that's what the ant is. That's what they call the ant. Okay, and so you just kind of spread those out. And these are sweet, so you kind of, and the peanut butter is a little salty, so you get that salty, sweet taste, you know, and then you get the salty from the celery as well. And that is an appetizer as well. Okay? So, with the holidays coming up, if you want to make an appetizer, like you get invited to a party and the guest says, or if you're having a party and you need a fast, cheap appetizer, here you go. I've shown you one with tomatoes and cream cheese, one without tomatoes and cream cheese, and I, dressed it kind of up. And then I made a real simple version, which the Boy Scouts just call ants on a log, which is just same principle: celery, peanut butter, and either raisins, cranberries, or whatever fruit that you might like or enjoy. Okay, so that is our recipe for today. I hope you all enjoyed that, and bye.